So today I'm going to show you how I got the weathered look on these wood handles for a DL-44 blaster from Star Wars, aka the Han Solo blaster. It's a rainy day here, so I'm working inside. It is a well ventilated area and I am wearing a mask, but normally I would use sandable automotive spray primer. I'm using this old plastic metal that I've had a tube lying around. It seems to be working well. These are 3D printed with 0.28 layer lines, so definitely needs a little bit of prep work. The original intent of this project is to get some practice with my air booth, and I am rushing through. Even though this is at 10 times speed, I really am rushing through. It took me only probably about 10 minutes to clean both of these up. I just pushed the filler into the grooves and then scratched back out the areas that I wanted for the handles, and then lightly took a 220 grit, went straight to 220, and just sanded the imperfections that were on the top. It's not perfect, but it actually, to me, looks really good when finished with all what I've done here, because it's a weathered handle. It's been used a lot, so having little divots isn't a big deal to me, but having major layer lines that make it look like it was printed or doesn't look like wood, that is. So once I get done cleaning out these lines, I'm going to take a brown black Vallejo paint that's meant to be brushed on, not airbrushed, and I'm going to do a base layer. The paint comes from a kit of 8 paints that are meant for rust, but it does make a nice base layer. I find that painting a dark color first and then working my way backwards does seem to work better than starting with a light layer on the bottom, especially when you want a weathered look, because if the dark shows through, it doesn't look as bad as when the light color shows through. That being said, these are supposed to be wood. So when I was searching for a paint to airbrush, I found that in one of my kits, I actually had a paint color called wood. So I figured that would be the next color that I was going to use, followed by a dark brown, which is nowhere near as dark as the black brown that I used as a base coat. My paint booth is 2 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet. And while I need to get a new fan for it, because the fan I got does not work well if I'm going to be painting with anything that could cause a fire or an explosion if there's a spark, it does okay with acrylics, which I'm fine with. But I am looking for a new fan, as long as it's in my price range. If you have any suggestions, please let me know down in the comments. Currently, the fan I'm using has a 6-inch intake and outtake and pushes about 400 cubic feet per minute. This is only my second time using this paint gun, and first time using it with true airbrush paints. The previous time I was using some paint on acrylics that I had thinned, and I don't recommend doing that unless you know what you're doing, because you either don't thin it enough or you thin it too much. And I learned the hard way. I had to clean this brush quite a bit before I could use it on this project. So here I am, I've got the wood coat down, and I'm now going to put the dark brown, which is going to be the actual handle color. I want some of the wood to show through as if it's worn, and then in some areas I want to make it look like, yeah, that area hasn't really been worn, such as I decided to do like the top of the grip, because when I was holding the handles on the actual gun, it seemed like that area didn't get as much contact with my hand. And then here's the final product. As you can see, I colored the tops a little darker, and the imperfections, like they said, they may not look good to some people. To me, they look like that's a good worn wood piece that's been chipped a little. I may come back and clear coat these before I do finish the whole gun, but these are the first pieces of the gun that I have painted, and I'm happy with what I have. If you want to see more of this as I continue on this project and other projects where I get to use my new paint booth, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.